National Geographic presents.
What I'm asking you to do is dangerous. You need to take your time to think it through.
No, I don't. What do I do? We can't save everyone. But if I don't try, I don't think I'll be able to live with myself.
What are we supposed to do?
Some stood by.
Anything. You have to.
She stood up.
There has to be a line.
Belle Powley is Meep Geese.
There has to be me for this to work.
A Small Light limited series premieres tonight at 9. Stream on Hulu and Disney+.
So, you open Google Chrome on your phone, you're rushing to buy tickets to a concert that all your friends are going to. Picture yourself now, crowd surfing to the front, being invited onto the stage, backstage the world tour, and before you know it, you're dancing in Tokyo. Wait, what? 3 tickets left? It's a good thing your saved payment details autofill quickly and securely. There's no place like Chrome. Download Google Chrome on your phone.
Hey, what's up? This is the ManFUzed Podcast. I am Kay Lee, audio producer, your host, my real estate broker co-host, Ben H.
In the house.
Sitting right next to me, and we have a special guest in studio. So today on the ManFUzed Podcast, we are going to talk to Stuntman Nicholas Dekay. Nick has over 151 movies under his belt. He's going to take us behind the scenes. We've all heard that Tom Cruise does most of his own stunts, but does he? We might just get an answer. I asked him right before the mics turned on, I said, I never even sent you a link to this podcast. And he responded, no, I have no idea your format. I have no idea anything about the podcast. So Nick Dekay.
Going on?
Man,
Nick?
Me and Nick have lots of history. And when I hit Nick up a week or so back, when was the last time I spoke with you?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
I might have met Nick when I was 19, 20 years old.
Probably younger than that.
At that point, there were lots of parties. You'd call them parties. Some people would call them raves, whatever you want to call it. But there was always something to do like every night of the week. A different warehouse, a different club. And I remember Nick and we hit it hard for, let's say, if my memory serves me right, a couple of years maybe?
Yeah, it was definitely a couple of years.
I mean, one time in particular, and this might be dating us because we're all in our 40s now. I can't believe I'm saying that. I just turned 45 yesterday.
45?
Old balls,
like
sitting
DT?
Right here.
Ancient.
Old balls, ancient.
I
I'm a
didn't
fossil.
I didn't realize you were so old.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I didn't realize you
We
were
don't
so
need your
old.
abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
I have to respect my elders.
But there was a DJ called DJ Kyoki, not Aoki.
I love Kyoki.
Kyoki. And I
He was
remember
wild.
going to a party. I don't even remember where it was. It was
Soul.
Club
Soul.
Soul on was it Spring Street? No, Peachtree.
Yeah, it was at close to Peachtree and 10th.
It's where Bulldogs, that gay bar, is.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in that.
Generally in that
Actually,
area.
the high rise that our buddy Case lives in the Metropolis. That's the property that Club Soul used to be on.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so we went to see DJ Kyoki and ended up like going back to his penthouse at the Biltmore. I think it was that night.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds very plausible.
We were doing a lot of drugs then.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yeah.
A terrifying amount.
Terrifying. I mean, a horrific, terrifying amount.
And Kyoki was on board?
Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, Kyoki
played some wild stuff.
He did.
It was awesome.
I mean, where is he today? Can someone Google a picture of Kyoki and find out what... He's not DJing anymore that I know about.
I don't know anything about him anymore. I mean...
Back in the day, he was a headliner.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember getting into K-holes with him.
Yeah.
You know, doing a heroic dose of ketamine.
Oh, my God. While rolling on Molly or something like that. Or press pills, whatever we were doing back then.
Indeed.
Whatever kind of junk that was. So over the years, Nick and I have remained friends on Facebook. And I think one time when I was hustling some real estate, I went and I knocked on a property downtown. Was it around Ponce?
Yep, we were on Ponce.
So I knocked on this door, Ben, because I wanted to see who owned this property. And it was before all the Ponce redevelopment. And Nick answered the door, and he had an MMA gym over there.
No way.
This must have been 15 years ago. So it's
That's
probably
crazy.
kind of in the middle of when we were hanging out and where we are now. Well, Nick, ever since, has been doing some pretty badass shit. Let me just tell you a little bit about my buddy Nick right here. So Nick is a multi-talented stuntman who's made a name for himself in the entertainment industry.
Dang.
Dude has over 150 films.
That's wild.
Under his belt.
No way.
He's been nominated for 5 awards, and you've won one of them, which was that Cobra? No, which one did you win?
Stranger Things and Black Panther.
No
Stranger
way, dude.
Things
That's
and
cool.
Black Panther. Wakanda, right?
The first Black Panther.
The first Black Panther. Oh, that was before, what's his name died?
Correct.
Did you ever get to meet him?
Yeah, I actually worked with him on 42, the Jackie Robinson movie.
I just watched that with my son the other day.
Yeah,
because we had
I'm in
the
it.
Jackie Robinson tournament. Don't tell me you were the one yelling the N-word over and over.
So if you remember when the Dodgers pull up to that hotel,
Yes.
and there's some goons,
Yeah.
stopping them from going in, I was the goon.
No way.
Yeah,
I watched that I'm
That's
talking
hilarious.
last weekend, and
Yeah.
I did not recognize you as a
well,
goon.
you know, I was wearing a period costume, but
Holy shit.
I met him on that. And then, you know, we worked together on Panther because I did the casino fight. And then
Right.
that big car chase in Korea. Went to Korea and did the car chase.
How cool is that?
And now you got into stunts, and I think you told me this. So you were owning this MMA gym. You're an MMA fighter too. You're a badass, right? You karate, MMA, jujitsu, shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm a badass, but
Well, okay, I get
Compared
it.
to me, he's a badass.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Certainly compared to you
Most
now that you're
badasses,
45.
most bad. He's 44, but he knows how to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
But most badasses don't ever say they're a badass. The ones that say
That's-
that, oh, I'm a fucking badass, are normally the ones that.
That's because they learn from real badasses. Because his opinion of the guy that's a badass is a real badass.
Oh yeah, where
He's
me,
a badass compared to us.
Mine be the janitor. Just cleaned up my explosive diarrhea.
Mine
Yeah,
is
he's
anybody
bad.
that can just fight better than me.
Oh, Ben, you've served our country. You've been in combat.
I've been in
mean,
some fights.
yeah.
I've never really lost a fight, but I never fought a badass MMA guy either. I'm sure I would lose to a jiu-jitsu fighter.
Oh, I'm sure.
100%.
Yeah, they know how to fucking dry hump you on the ground. and put you in a rear
100%.
naked
Once they get
choke.
me on the ground, I'm just going to tap. I'm not even waiting for it.
You heard it here first. Ben is very vulnerable. So you said that you were just in the gym one day and someone came in and wanted to shoot something there. Is that how it all came to be?
yeah, this guy, he was a movie producer, and he comes in, he's like, hey, you know, I want to use your gym to shoot this sequence. And I was like, sure, man, you just got to put me in your movie. And he was like, well, do you know how to act? I'm like, no. He's like, well, what can you do? I'm like, I don't know, I can fight, I can shoot, I can do all kinds of shit. And he was like, well, there's actually an assassin role in the movie. I guess you can do it.
And which movie is this?
It was called The Drug Runner, and it died in post-production, which is what most independent movies do.
So they make it all the way to post and then they fucking die?
Yeah.
Is that because of funding?
Correct. Yeah, this guy ran out of money. He did the whole thing on film. It was a beautiful movie. So I shot that and met some other stunt guys on that movie. And we chatted, and they were like, you should try to do this. And kind of banged my head against the wall for a few years and eventually started doing it for a living.
That's pretty fucking badass.
So how do you do stunt work for a living, for example? Is there a place you sign up? I mean, it's obviously who you know and who knows you.
And it's about
right?
your work and previous work, your reputation, right? And
So you
like-
build a body of work and then you market yourself to producers?
So as a stunt performer, the people we're, I guess, marketing ourselves to would be stunt coordinators.
Okay, got it.
It is very much a reputation-based business. There are some stunts where worst case scenario, you kind of hurt yourself, but there are other stunts where worst case scenario, you kill someone else.
Really?
Oh yeah, if you're driving a car, you're in a 3,500 pound missile. And if you're driving it and sliding it up to a camera, there's people around. And if you miss your mark and you hit them, they're going to be disappointed.
Does that happen often where people get hurt?
Not terribly often, but it does happen from time to time. I mean,
Yeah.
people have gotten hurt. People have lost their lives. It's serious work.
That's cool, man. That's like a dream job. Like when you're a kid, you know, that's the kind of thing. Like when I ask my son what he wants to be, he's like, I want to be a dirt bike rider, or I want to be a baseball player. I want to be a race car driver. I mean, Stuntman is like all of those things, all in one. You get to do all that cool shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's cool, man.
So, and I mean,
That's
now
really
that you
cool.
have 150 under your belt, I would imagine, is this something you have to go try out for? Or is it the type of thing where it's like, I've worked with him, my buddies worked with him, I know I can, because they need to be able to count on you for that end result, ultimately, without being a prima donna or a pain in the ass, without being a dick to everybody else. You know, I'm sure you hear that shit on the set and where people get these bad reps. I would imagine as a stunt person, you want to be as chill and easy to work with as possible.
Yeah, there's really no time for stunt divas.
Yeah.
Stunt divas.
Have you met a stunt diva?
Not many that work. You got to be pretty special to be able to be a real asshole and work as a stunt person.
Meaning you have to be able to do shit that most people are not willing to do or be able to execute?
You have to be either immensely talented or the only person in a demographic. Because, we double a lot of actors. And if you're some really weird demographic that nobody else is in, you can kind of get away with being a dick.
Like Pan-Pacific, Jewish?
No, like a little midget that's like,
maybe.
Like, what's his name? Mini-Me.
Yeah.
Like, how can you stunt double that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never met that guy's stunt double, but
he's a real asshole.
But generally speaking, most of the people that work are pretty cool. There's a pretty good filtering system in the stunt department to get rid of assholes. You're going to eat a lot of humble pie. Because, we do stupid shit. You throw yourself down flights of stairs, you get hit by cars.
I would think it'd be a pretty chilled out, humble group of guys, honestly.
For the most part.
Or people. I'm sure there's females as well.
Oh, there's some amazing stunt women out there.
Yeah.
Now, dealing with the main actors, and you've been a double for Jason Bateman, right?
Yeah.
You were one. Did you see Stranger Things 4, Ben?
No.
Okay, so there's a scene in there. What was the guy's name in the show?
Eddie.
Spoiler alert. There's a scene in there where Nick fills in for him and is a stunt double for him. So, like, working with those actors, are they pretty cool, or you're going to get some that are assholes and some that are just, I guess that's kind of a...
It depends. I mean, there are some actors that are very, very cool. There are some actors that are complete assholes and everywhere in between.
I mean, I guess it depends on the day also, because, everyone has a bad day.
Sure. Some of the guys are very professional. They're not there to be your friend. They're there to do their job. I like those guys. I get along with them pretty well because I'm not looking to be buddy-buddy with them. And they're not looking to be buddy-buddy with me. They're looking to do their job, and I'm there to do my job. And that all works out. There are some that get really butthurt about having a stunt double.
Some people don't like that shit.
It hurts their manliness.
Because it's not them doing it.
Correct. And they might be physically capable of doing it, but the risk profile of the stunt doesn't allow them to do it. Insurance won't bond the film if they do it. So they make me do it, and some of those guys get a little butthurt about it.
So that has to go. That's not even necessarily the directors. That's insurance. They have to clear all that shit through insurance and look at like weighing the options and like, okay, can we afford if the main character gets injured from this type thing?
That goes into it. So typically in pre-production of a movie, your stunt coordinator is going through all the stunts with the director, the cinematographer, the producers, and comes up with a plan for each and every stunt. And then that plan has to be presented to the insurance company. And some movies just have insurance, but some also have a completion bond where this insurance company is guaranteeing this movie will be finished. So if you have a completion bond, which most films do, that insurance company is going to look at a stunt like, say, a guy falling down a flight of steps, which I've never met an actor that wants to fall down steps.
That seems like a rough one.
It's a shitty stunt.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of them.
Seems like there's no way it doesn't hurt.
Throw yourself down this flight of steps.
I mean, is there any way it doesn't hurt?
No, it always hurts.
Yeah.
Do you wear extra padding and shit?
You wear what you can wear.
Wear without being like...
Correct. You can't look like the Michelin Man most of the time.
Right. You can't be in a bubble and then, I get it.
They're not going to fix it in post. So generally speaking, they do this kind of risk analysis with the insurance company. And usually at that point, they'll say, okay, there's no way the actor can do this. We have to have a stunt double for this because they just don't want to risk it.
Except if you're Tom Cruise.
No comment.
Why? Now
does he really do all of his own stunts like they say?
He does a lot of them, right?
No comment?
Oh. Well, the way he portrays himself.
There you go.
He's portrayed as someone who does all of his own stunts.
Okay, you don't have to answer.
Did he fly the jets?
I don't know if he flies the jets. I didn't work on.
Does he do more stunts than the norm? Like, I feel
Absolutely. He is an incredibly physically talented man.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. I know he's skydived, and I mean, he'll do that stuff from what I understand. But
yeah, I mean, he can ride a motorcycle. He can drive cars. He can do fight sequences. He's very talented.
But does he do as much as he shows off that he does? Okay, so no comment.
No comment. We'll take the first word along with the comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Particular type of stunt that you like to do?
I love doing driving stunts. They're always super fun.
You like bikes and cars, that type of...
Bike stunts I'm less excited about because usually they want you to crash them.
Did you say diving?
Driving.
Driving, sorry.
Yeah. Bike stunts are fun, but I don't really like crashing bikes on purpose if I can help it.
Yeah.
That would have been way cooler when I was 20.
Yeah,
But the car stunts, they're tons of fun.
I bet.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw Game Night with Jason Bateman.
Yes.
So all that Corvette stuff at the end, that was all practical. Like I was really went under a plane and did all that stuff. And
Really?
that car. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it was badass. It
Is that the
is
first time
incredible.
you've ever done anything like that?
I don't know how many people have ever driven under a plane, period.
While
Yeah.
the plane is rolling.
Correct. Just in general. I don't know anyone else who's done it. I'm sure someone else has it.
What about Christmas
That's cool, man.
Vacation when Chevy Chase goes under the tractor trailer?
It's kind of the same gag. you
Right.
know. It's similar
Yeah.
gag. And they did it in Fast and Furious also. when
And
they went under that.
you've been a part of those movies as well, right?
I worked on 7 and 8.
Cool.
Is that one of the ones where they went to space?
I think that's 10. I got a friend. She's worked on a bunch of them. She would know.
That's so cool.
That seems like it would be right up your alley with the amount of car chase scenes in those movies.
Yeah, they're fun. I didn't do any of the big car stuff on the Fast and Furious movies. I worked on first unit. All the badass shit was on second unit, but that was on 7. I think they filmed in Ohio or something, but I wasn't a part of it.
First, to educate any of our listeners and me, and I don't know if you know what first unit, second unit, what does that mean? Like, does second unit, is that always reserved for like more extreme, or is it that doesn't really
Not
weigh in?
necessarily. Typically, first unit means the beautiful people are there, the actors.
Ah.
And the first unit director. So that's the director that everyone hears about. That's first unit. And then second unit typically is a stunt unit. It doesn't have to be. It could be filming anything, technically speaking.
And that could have its own director.
But it would have a second director. It has a second unit director. A lot of stunt coordinators become second unit directors. So on the Fast and Furious movies, I believe the second units are run by a guy named Spiro, who I've never worked for. I'd like to, but he's got a pretty tight group of people that he works with, that he's worked with.
Maybe
for
you
like
need to wait till one of them gets
30 years or
badly
something.
injured or something, and you could slide in.
I think they're all drivers, so it's unlikely that's going to happen.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But in any event, sometimes second units do more extreme stuff. Usually, the most common thing I would say on second unit, in my experience with them, is they just move a lot faster. So a first unit might get 20 setups in a day, and a second unit might get 200.
Wow.
When you say setups, like,
Meaning where you put a camera.
oh shit.
First
amazing.
unit moves at a glacially pace because they're waiting for the actor to have that perfect twinkle in their eye or whatever.
Right.
So they might, on a big movie, you might be filming less than a page a day. And a page is roughly 60 seconds of screen time.
Right.
So you've got this 12-hour day dedicated to getting 45 seconds of movie.
That's crazy, man.
Can you imagine? I mean, like, that's something that I would never even think about. And I've been a part of some commercial, like I've been on a couple of TV commercial things where I've had to sit, and you're right. You're just sitting there. I mean, the production, even for something low budget like Swamp Murders, which I was on, and I don't know if you ever heard of that show. It's like the ID Discovery bullshit that, they reenact, murders, shit, whatever. I mean, I was there for 7, 8, 9 hours, and it's for, I don't know, a minute maybe with me on it. It's crazy. That's so fucking cool though. Yeah. So like out of your 150 movies or shows that you've been a part of, do you have one or two that are just stand out as like your absolute favorite besides flying or riding under the plane? That's probably got to be
fun.
pretty epic.
I was pretty stoked. I was the Johnny Lawrence stunt double on season 1 of Cobra Kai. And that was pretty cool because, I was a huge Karate Kid fan as a kid.
Hell yeah, this show's awesome. I love it. And I didn't think I'd get into it. And then I'm like, the way that they picked it up, I mean, it's that 80s nostalgic. It's like Stranger Things kind of. It's just like they get it all right pretty much as far as like 80s were a good ass time.
They were fun.
80s were pretty
80s was a
badass.
great time. 80s and 90s, really, if you look at it.
Yeah. The producers of that show, they're big nerds and they really love the source material. So I worked on it seasons 1, 2, and 3. I haven't worked on it since. There was a management change in stunts and
They decided to go elsewhere.
we went a different way. So that one was fun. I liked working on Ozark because that was just a cool show.
With Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I did that bicycle thing in the first season was fun, where I rode the bicycle into the side of the truck.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that now. All right.
Yeah, that was fun. And Jason's actually incredibly athletic.
Is he?
Yeah, super athletic.
Jason Bateman does not like he's like a child actor. Like you just would not think. He's almost the same in every show. show, every movie he's on, he's the same character pretty much.
He's shockingly athletic.
Really?
He rode that bicycle and skidded up to it like an 80s kid, and he landed maybe an inch from the truck. So they were able to use almost all of him and just me hitting the truck.
Now throw yourself into this truck.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised at how athletic he actually is.
And he's a cool guy, right?
I like him a lot. He's super professional. He's very organized when he's directing. I did a movie with him last year that's going to come out, I think, this year sometime.
What is that called? Are you allowed to say?
Carry On.
Carry On.
Carry on, my son.
Yeah.
Is that like a carry on a plane?
Yep.
Like a
Yeah.
All right.
I can't really give you any details about
All
the
right.
plot,
So
but
what are we carrying on a plane? Something, there's got to be.
It's a mystery. You
Yeah.
have to wait.
you'll find out when you see it.
You got to have
That's
the
right.
protagonist. Something's going on. The drama's
right.
got to be
Yeah.
in that carry on. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, he's cool. I get along with him fine. Again, we're not buddies or anything, but it's a very professional relationship.
That's cool, man.
Have you ever been, and now you've got 151 films you've been a part of, is there anybody that you would be starstruck by getting to meet or hang out with or work with that you'd be like, oh, this is fucking amazing? Like, you've been in contact with so many out of 150 films, whether they be low budget or big budget, or independent or whatever you want to call it. Is there anybody that you have been starstruck by or would be just by?
Yeah.
I was pretty stoked when I met Tony Jaa on Fast 7.
Tony Jaa's a badass.
I thought that was cool just because I thought he was a badass.
Is he?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, he trained with me at my gym. He's a freak of nature.
Do you know who Tony Jaa is, Ben?
Not yet.
He was like a Thai action star.
Yeah, he's
Badass.
what is it? Ong Bak?
Tom Young-gun.
Oh, yeah. Ong Bak. Yeah.
He
he's
breaks
crazy.
legs like.
Oh, yeah. I know this guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's like the Thai, like Donnie Yen. Like,
Yeah.
You like Donnie Yen?
I like Donnie Yen. I've never worked with him.
What do you think about Keanu Reeves?
I met him once when I was working out at a gym in LA that's owned by some stunt guys. And he seemed very polite. I thought the first John Wick movie was really freaking awesome. And obviously I like Matrix. So
Yeah. I mean, you can't
I
hate
like
on
Bill
his
and Ted.
work,
I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, he's a shitty actor.
Oh, whatever.
But
He's a wonderful
his gun
actor.
skills and his fighting skills, I mean, he trains like he's good.
I think he's one of the best actors, man, personally.
I like
mean,
him. And, he went out to Terran Tactical to learn his little gun fu shit.
Gun fu.
And is that, what's the close combat fighting he does? It's like a mix of like jujitsu and what's the other one? Akita? Keto?
I don't know. I know he did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out in LA for a while.
Just some of those moves that he does in all four of the films, I know they're all choreographed, but, the way he takes people down, I mean, you still have to know how to do that shit. I think there's a fighting style that kind of lends to some of that. I don't know if it's a keto or I'm not
I'd
sure.
call it movie fu.
Movie fu.
Yeah, because he does some basic judo shit in there. He does a lot
Judo.
of BJJ. He does a bunch of stuff. I know his stunt doubles from that movie, and I know the fight guys in that movie. They're all super talented. And
Right. So you like John Wick 1, but second, have you seen the
other
fourth
ones-
yet?
I haven't seen the fourth yet. I know I'm a stunt guy, and I'm supposed to just like long action sequences, but I like the not action sequences more than I like action sequences when I watch a movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that because you pick it apart?
I mean, I'm sure that the action sequences in the newest movie are technically flawless.
Right.
I've worked with Chad, who's the director of that movie. He's extraordinarily talented. It's unlikely there's any technical issues with any of his fights.
But you know how the sausage is made.
I do know how the sausage is made. I mean, I'm a movie dork, but I like all the acty shit.
Yeah.
I like the story stuff. I like action sequences, but I like it when it's more of a punctuation mark
So
on a scene rather than the scene.
on the action sequences, I've always wondered, some of them are just horrible and you're like, okay, this is obviously not a real fight. But sometimes it's like, is that a real fight? So I guess my question is, are there times when it's like, no, let's just go for it. Let's just beat the shit out of each other. Don't punch me in the nose, but let's really fight.
I've had one actor, and I'm not going to say his name, but he is a very famous for being a tough guy.
Yeah.
It's not Steven Seagal, is it?
No.
It's Tate.
It's not Steven Seagal. I've never worked with him, and I have no intention of ever working with him.
Yeah.
But no, this guy's a fine guy, so I'm not going to call him out.
Cool.
But and I had choreographed this fight sequence that he and I were going to have, and I knew he wanted to do Thai boxing in it. So I told him, where we're going to clinch and we'll exchange some knees, and then he would sweep me. And he's like, well, I think we should just really clinch, and then I'll just throw you when I want to throw you. And I was like, I think we should do the choreography. And he's like, no, I'll just throw you when I want to throw you. I'm like, all right, so you want to just really clinch and just go for it. And then you're just going to throw me at some point. He said, yeah. All right, man. So take one. I put it on his ass. I started putting his chin down towards his belly button. And I waited till I saw the fear in his eyes. And then I just chucked myself on the ground. And then after that, he came up. He's like, you really know how to do Muay Thai, don't you? I was like, yeah, man, I actually fought in Thailand. And he was like, he's like, all right, well, we'll do the choreography. Let's do the choreography.
Let's just do that. Yeah.
And he was cool after that. He was great.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've ever had an actor be like, no, we should really just do this. Because usually they're very concerned about their safety.
So talk about safety. I mean, what was that like fighting real Muay Thai in Thailand? I mean, that's not acting.
And how badass is Thailand?
I mean,
that's where I went on my honeymoon.
People are getting their ass kicked for real, right?
Guys in Thailand are no tougher than guys anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, people are people.
It's funny, though, the way, not to interrupt you, the way they market fights in Thailand is
It's like cockfights.
No, you'll be on the street and this truck comes by. They got a horn on it and they're on their CB and they're like, oh, come out to the fight. And they got pictures of the fighters and then the fighters hop out and start sparring in the street with their clan as a promo.
That's crazy.
Did you see that shit?
I actually have one of the billboards that they put on one of those trucks for me at my house.
Oh, shut up.
Chris has a tuk-tuk. I'm sorry. Kay Lee has a tuk-tuk.
Nice.
I converted it to electric. It's gangster. It is straight from Thailand.
Yeah, well,
it's got the serial number and everything.
I had a fight in Phuket. And one of my buddies, he's this French guy that was at our gym. He got drunk and climbed up and stole the billboard with my face on it. And we rolled it up and I took it home.
Oh, that's
I have it
cool.
at my house.
So you have the one of your own fight.
Yeah, it's me looking all stupid.
That's cool.
Did you win?
I did win.
You did?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, some of those guys, I always think back to was it blood sport or whatever?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's no rules when you go to Thailand.
No, there's plenty of rules.
Which is
like
the one
that's
where
when you die in the ring.
Was it blood sport? Was the Thai
like
one?
Jean-Claude
Van
Damme.
That was kickboxer.
Kickboxer.
Where he fought Tung Po, which I believe is a white guy that they just put Asian guy.
Shut your mouth.
That's
that was
hilarious.
a white.
I think he's like from Italy or something.
That's hilarious.
That has to be like blackface of Thai people.
Yeah, he'd be
like you just
canceled
painted
now.
somebody up.
Yeah,
to
right now Twitter would murder him.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. So, did you like Thailand as a whole being out
I
there?
absolutely loved it. I've been a bunch of times.
Have you?
Yeah, I've spent probably over a year of my life total there.
That's
it's
cool.
awesome.
I fucking love Thailand.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
cool.
cheap once you get
Never
there.
been.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, dude,
I want to go back.
It's so
Where
sick.
should I go? Where should I take my wife?
Everywhere. Go all over.
Yeah, I mean, just go there for like 6 weeks and just spend like a week in Bangkok, then go to like Chiang Mai, go down to Krabi, go to Phuket.
That's cool.
Go to Koh Samui if you go to the islands, like where the beach was filmed or any of those little islands.
Yeah, PP Island, I think is where the beach was filmed.
Well,
That's cool.
I went to the full moon party out there.
Oh, you went in like Samoy?
No
yeah, you took
way.
a boat. Well, we stayed 5 days on the island of Koh Samui, which isn't far, and then you take a boat to wherever the full moon party is, which is really funny because it's like a Panama City spring break type deal. Like everyone's trying to sell you everything. All the alcohols, like they give you a bucket with like a couple of Red Bulls and some vodka. They're doing fire, stuff on the beach, and the
That's
beach
crazy.
gets so packed that you can barely walk, and you've got people probably rolling their balls off, fucking in the water, and there's a right next to them just peeing in the
God.
water while they're fucking
Yeah,
God.
yeah, those full moon parties are special.
Yeah, they are.
It's not my favorite part of Thailand.
No, not at all, but it was still fun. You got to
I
experience
like
it once.
as the Thais would say, sabai sabai, which
Yeah.
means relax, relax.
I like that too.
Yeah, I was more chilling.
I'm in it for the chill. I spent a lot of time down in Costa Rica for that. Yeah, I go down there and just completely unplug, man. Just
Yeah,
go
I
out in the
love Costa
jungle.
Rica.
And I got a buddy that's got 20 acres in the jungle. And I just go out there and he's got a little casita. We stay at the casita. They cook for us and we just hang out in the forest, man.
Take some ayahuasca.
Yeah, a little silo, a little whatever. But
I've
yeah, we
never
just
done drugs there.
What's that?
I've actually never done drugs in a foreign country, but I definitely didn't do drugs in Costa Rica when I was there.
Well, I've been on for the past 5 years, just kind of a path of just healing. Just trying to heal myself from a lot of trauma and stuff in my life. And it's led me to plant medicine, which led me to these people in Costa Rica with their land and stuff like that. And I never have felt so relaxed and detached from everything that I need to be detached from. And it's just an amazing thing.
I'm way too paranoid. All the felonies that I haven't been indicted for are all right here in America.
Yeah.
Because, if I'm going to go to jail, I want to go to jail here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do, a hallucinogenic that I'm stuck with for, 8-10 hours in a country where I'd just be like, if I'm caught, I'm going to go to third world country jail.
Yeah, particularly if we're talking about that, the Aya is actually legal there. So it's not an illegal substance there, number one. Number two, I mean, you've probably driven through Piedra Negro. You probably drove through there. It's a big enduro pass through. You understand what I mean when I say deep in the Costa Rican jungle.
Oh, yeah. No, I've
This is out there.
Costa Rica, I know.
Hour and a half west of San Jose, way out in the jungle on the side of a mountain where I don't see a road or a car for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I understand what you mean, though, but this is a little more chill. But regardless, I hear what you mean on the relaxing thing. That's what it's all about, man. Just detach.
That's what I did when I went to Costa Rica, and it was fucking amazing. I loved it. Hey, thanks for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast. This will end part 1 of our interview with Nicholas Dekay. Join us tomorrow as Ben H. talks about how he's been communicating with his buddy in Costa Rica on an astral plane. I think we've all had this happen when we dream about somebody and the next day they show up or they give us a call. It's crazy, right? We're going to talk about that, and Nick continues to take us behind the scenes of the movie industry as a stuntman.